Hello everyone, we are back with another episode of Chess Improvement through doing chess puzzles. Today we have 28 to 92 rated puzzles, so it's very hard and we're slowly progressing through the ranks. Now, we're going to solve these the same way we have been doing in the previous episodes. If you haven't seen them already, check them out with the real method where we make sure that we get all of the puzzles correct. So here, what's going on in this position? Straight away I see we're actually up material. So generally when you're up material, just as the person is saying, time for an important lesson about defending, we got to defend. So most cases when you're up material, we have these two passed pawns. We have to somehow defend our king. Although here it actually looks pretty good for us. And we still have to go through the method. So we count the material, we've done that, we're up 2 pawns. Now, what's the next step? Examine the checks, captures, and threats. Alright. Checks, captures, and threats. Checks, what do we see? Okay, I have rook f7. Rook f7 blunders the pawn. Okay, but... Okay, that does seem promising. We'll hold off for now. We'll just have a look. Is there anything, other moves we would consider after? Okay, no, rook f7 seems like the obvious one. Maybe a threat is possible, but... Okay, they have some checks as well. So we have to be a little bit careful. Because they have this check... And if we move the king, very complex position actually. It's not clear what either side wants, so this is one of these hard puzzles. Let's have a look how to solve this. Immediately, I think rook f7 seems like a good move. Bishop blocking makes no sense. We just take rook takes f6, and we should be up in material there and winning. So after rook f7, king g5 is essentially forced. Now after king g5, what can we do? I think that is winning, but we do have to look again because that is part of our process. So, rook f7, king g5, knight e6, king g6, attacking the rook, rook f4, pinning both, or skewering both of the bishops. They have rook f3 check, but I think safely we can come here to g6 and we're winning the game. Yeah, we just take it. Okay, I'm happy to play the move now. Take, and I believe the move here is rook f4. I could be wrong with this one. Of course, rook g7 does not work. They will take it. Nothing else seems to even remotely be considered correct. We can't take it. They will take the rook. So rook f4 seems the most obvious. No bishop e5 because the bishop covers. Very good. Okay, we got it correct. We're up to 2899. We've got 8 in a row correct. So, you know what? Let's go for 100 in a row. This could be the most anyone's got right. If we get everything right within every day, I don't think that's possible. Although this puzzle looks insanely easy. Okay, we're on to the next puzzle, and again, we do the same thing. Do not skip any steps. We're down a pawn here. Now, we examine the checks, captures, and threats. The first check you should see is a rook takes g6. And this can't be a 2900 rated puzzle because it looks too easy. If they take, we have mate. Very clearly, I think most of you can calculate that. Rook g6, what else can they do? Well, they can move the king. They can move the king here. In this case, we can give a check. Oh, no. If they move the king away, we just take the rook. But then maybe a perpetual. No, there's no perpetual though. This is insanely easy. We went from that puzzle to this puzzle. Sometimes this does happen where one puzzle is extremely hard and the other one is like so easy, but yeah, it happens. Not to actually, it's not that. It's very straightforward. Actually, I was gonna say it's not that straightforward. It's just very easy. Okay, rook takes g6. King h7 is essentially forced. If they go king h8, we take and we have mate very soon. Just check and mate. So rook g6, king h7 forced. Now, we could take the rook, but then they could take our rook. And I don't think that's something we want, so why not play it very safe? Rook g6, king h7, we give another check. And, okay, where do they have to go? They have to go to h6. Now we can take the rook. And now they don't even have this check, because we come back, we block the checks, and we have a discover check. So this looks a little too easy, so I am going to look again, although I do believe this is the solution. I think we can safely go for it. I'm not crazy, right? Yeah, It's simply right. Now, I think the only place where people would go wrong is they would take the rook immediately, which is incorrect. Because then they would take us. We got to give the check, force the king away to this square or this square, and then take the rook, and we get the rook for free. If they take this pawn, we simply block, and it's actually discovered check. Then they would have to move the king back, and we would have mate on the next move. So simply, we give the check, and it's winning. Very, very easy. We have a rating of 2900 in puzzles. Let's do one more if we have time, two more. Okay, let's go. So this is black to play. Let's count the material. We are down a piece, and it's equal pawns. But what I do see is straight away we have some checks. We have knight c2, which can win a piece. We can also take this. So which is best? So let's go by the method. Examine checks, captures, threats. Now evaluate the lines. Let's evaluate the lines. I'm looking at taking on e6. They do have queen b5 check. They do have queen b5 check, and yeah, if we block, they can trade and then take this, and then I don't think we're winning there. So my intuition is telling me, why can't I take this first? Then let's say king comes to d1. So knight takes c2, king d1. If we play knight takes a1 there, what happens? Well, this knight could get trapped. Actually, we can disregard this straight away now that I've looked a little bit carefully. Can we disregard this? King d1, we take. They have queen b5 check, whereby we have to block with the knight because this bishop covers this diagonal. And, okay, that doesn't seem great for us. Because, okay, they can even trade everything if they wanted. Just trade absolutely everything and just lock this knight in here. And eventually win the knight, which we wouldn't be up any material. We would actually be down. So I think we can't just chase this rook blindly. The thing I like about taking this bishop instead is, for one, it covers this b5 check. So if we play knight c2, king d1, we take on a3. Now we cover the check. Now let's say their bishop retreats there. We should be better in that position. Alright, let me just quickly look without the board so I can visualize a little better. Helps for me, helps for a lot of people that have been playing for a long time, where visualizing becomes a little easier when you're not looking at the board. Just close your eyes and do it. If you struggle with this, watch my blindfold chess training playlist where I take you through how to do this. Okay. Knight c2, king d1, knight takes a3, knight takes a3. Oh my god, I think I just saw a mate in 8. I don't know which line I just calculated, but I think I saw a mate in 8. Something I was intuitively ruling out. But it seemed to work. Let me quickly check if this does work. Take... No, it wouldn't. Oh, wait a second. Does work. It does work. Wow. Okay, now I was always considering taking with the knight, but then I just considered, okay, what if we capture with the bishop? We have to examine all the checks and captures in every position. So I captured with the bishop. And here, if you take the knight, which what I was intuitively afraid of, I just noticed we have a check. The king has to come back, only legal move. We have another check, king has to come up. Check, mate. The game is over. So I was intuitively ruling this out because I'm like, okay, they will just take the knight, but it doesn't work. So now I'm seeing knight c2, king d1. I have bishop takes a3. So I've been staring at this puzzle for a long time, and I don't think there's an obvious solution, but I do think we have a lasting attack against the enemy king, which will be stranded in the center of the board. So I do think it's knight takes c2. Once king d1 comes, we take here. Knight takes, and I think we just simply take it. And the point is, once they give a check on b5, we come king f8. And yes, we have equal material, but their king is in the center, our king is safe. Their bishop is hanging, they have to play bishop c4. There we can just simply develop maybe queen e7, rook d8. And this king is going to be pretty bad. Maybe they go knight d2. We can just slowly build up bishop g5 and attack there. They have no defense against the king. I think that's a solution. I've been staring at this puzzle for a long time, and that's the only thing I can come up with. I think it is correct though. Okay, that's right. I think we just take it now. If we take this way, as I said before, the check comes, and I think it's bad for us. Here we take, and I think we just take it. There's nothing else here. Yep, we have to take. If we take here, then potentially they can give the check and go knight c4, and then reroute the king somehow. Maybe. Okay, maybe we have to consider this actually. If we take here, yeah, we have to go king f7. Our pawns are doubled. Then they go knight c4. It doesn't look as good as if we just take it. Now the bishop is forced to move after the check, and there their pieces are all clumped together. Our king is safe. Our pawn structure is solid. Rook is coming to d8, queen to e7. I think we just take. Very hard puzzle, this one. Wow. Actually, everyone's saying it's easy, but these ones are the hard ones where you're not actually winning any material here. If you look at the board, I'm actually going to put it on the analysis board. Queen b5 check. Wait. Oh, wait. So after this, yeah, it's +3, but there's no clear win here. No clear win at all. Bishop c4, and look at this. You have equal material here. You're not even up a single pawn. The only thing you have going for you is this attack. So this is one of those insanely hard puzzles where you have to notice that your king is more safer than the opponent's king. Eventually you can go g6, bishop g7, and a6. This looks pretty good. a6. And it's not a clear puzzle of how you're winning, but yeah. It's definitely much better for black. You would much rather prefer black. So that's going to do us for today's chess puzzles. This one was extremely difficult. We had a medium one at the start, extremely difficult one at the end, a very easy one in the middle. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Comment down below any thoughts you have on the video, and subscribe to the realest chess channel in the West.